you really got to ask yourself, am I happy? Am I excited to do what I'm about to do today? And if the answer is no, you got to change.
Yeah. Most of us have the agency, especially as adults and young adults, we have the agency to change a lot of these things. We have so much freedom over the direction of our lives right now, but something like a 9-to-5 job can really make it feel like we don't have too many choices because we've now become dependent on the money that comes from that. And it's taken so much of our time because we're trading our hours for a check. So it can become a little disheartening. And it's easy to say, well, you don't know my situation. But a lot of the really, really rewarding things are on the other side of that painful jump. So
it's like living for the weekend.
Yeah. Never do that. Like we were talking about this earlier. Like Kevin Hart has that quote where he's like, I don't want to live for a weekend because I'm only looking forward to 2 days out of a 7-day week. So I look forward to every Monday because I love my life. I love what I do. And I've made great strides to be able to get to that point in my life. But that didn't come without a lot of sacrifice. And
that should be the goal. That should be the goal for people our age, is taking this time and just trying everything that we want to do.
Totally.
Not sucking all our time in a 9-to-5. It's huge.
Yeah. It's so easy to get wrapped up into grind culture.
I know. We forget how young we are. We really forget how young we are. I see all these videos and stuff, and it's like, oh, you're so young. And I'm like, man, I feel so old. I'm turning 22.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dude, I had one of my friends who was 26, and he was like, I'm a dinosaur. And I'm like, what?
But when you really... Let's just zoom out for a second. We are young. Now is our time.
Totally.
This is our time to take the world, to make things happen. We're never going to have this freedom again in our life. We're going to have to take care of family when we're older. We're going to have to take care of our spouse. We're going to have to manage friendships and relationships and families. You know, we have our entire lives in our hands right now. We have the mental capability and we have the emotional capability to do it right now.
Yeah.
We have to, especially at our age. If we're not, it's a waste. That's my opinion.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
You ever hear the quote, wherever you go, there you are?
No.
Wherever you go, there you are. There's no escaping yourself. So it's important to learn to love yourself. You know, trust yourself too. If I say, like for me, if I say I'm waking up at 7 a.m. the next morning, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. the next morning because I don't want to lose that bond that I have with myself. The same way if I had a best friend and we were supposed to meet up at 7 a.m. and then they flake or they don't show up, it's like, oh, I kind of lose trust in that person a little bit. Yeah. And then the more that they do that, the less you trust them. And then it becomes harder and harder to set goals.
Yeah.
So that's why, for me, I've noticed if I follow through on my commitments that I set to myself, it's such a game changer.
And even falling off that saddle, like, you just got to get back on. I would much rather, and I have this so much going to the gym. I'll be in a stride where like 2-3 weeks in a row, I'm 5 days a week in the gym. I'm getting big. I feel great.
Feels so good.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have a week where I don't even go at all. And it's not because I just didn't want to work out. I told myself I was too busy. I had to get X amount of sleep so I could go to work the next day and actually show up with the right attitude.
Right.
Just all these things that sometimes get in the way of taking care of myself.
Right.
That's how I'll package it. But another thing I'm learning is like, I need to put myself first. And my producer, Stevie, gets on me so often about this. He's like, if you don't take care of your mental and your physical, you're not going to have a career. There's no such thing as putting your career over yourself because you can't have a career without yourself. You know, replace the career stuff with just life in general. You have to put yourself first. You have to make sure that you're in the right space, physically, mentally. It's so important.
There's CEOs that, you're so right, there's CEOs that run themselves down and then they die at a really young age. I don't know if you've heard of Bryan Johnson.
Name rings a bell.
Bryan Johnson is the guy doing the $2 million a year anti-aging routine.
Really?
It's really amazing stuff. So he's actually the inventor of Braintree Venmo, which is really cool. You know, like the Venmo paying app?
Yeah.
He basically invented that. And he has now reduced his like biological age by 5 or 6 years. It's pretty amazing stuff. And the way he's done that is the really strict sleep routine, a really strict nutrition routine, a really strict workout routine, all these things every single day. And he's just doing everything he can to use the science to reduce his age. It's pretty amazing stuff. But I saw in an interview somebody asked him, so when you were the CEO of Braintree Venmo and you were running yourself down, I mean, do you think you still could accomplish that with your really strict routine? Because like you were saying, you need to sacrifice things. And he was like, I probably could have accomplished more.
Wow.
Because I would have been taking care of my mental health. I would have been taking care of my physical health, and that would have allowed me to even do more. He goes, I've never felt more clear in my life. And that inspired me because it was like, whoa, it's true. You got to show up. It's like in our episode, Micro Habits for Success, you know, we said you have to take care of yourself. And that's got to be a habit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Self-love needs to be made a habit.